Hey everybody, I just wanted to say hello and kind of give you a little bit of an update for this week and kind of where some things are at. So obviously this week you still have your discussion board and your quiz. I just want to remind you on the discussion board um, that there is kind of a need to post more than once. And like I've said before, it's still more of a quality over quantity. But if you just have one quality post, your grade's not going to be the same as somebody who has two or three or four quality posts. Or the same thing goes if you have like 5 to 10 or so average posts, then you're not going to get the same grade as somebody who has 2 or 3 good posts. So keep that in mind that there is still a quality over quantity, but you still need to have a little bit of the quantity, 2, 3, 4 posts. So keep that in mind as we kind of move towards the end of this semester. And then in terms of the program survey, I had a student say it was sent out yesterday, so keep a lookout for that. Remember, that does count for, I believe, 7.5 points this time around. I think it's a total of 15 points this semester. So from the first survey to the second survey, you can get a total of 15 points if you do both. So make sure you're doing that. Again, it is a completion grade, so it's a fairly easy 15 points if you do both of them. And it shouldn't take but 10, 20 minutes. So it's not a long time deal either. So it's an easy completion grade, so keep that in mind. Like I said, somebody said they were sent out yesterday, so be a lookout for that. And if you missed it or you deleted it, keep looking for it because they will send reminder emails regarding that survey. So keep that in mind. And while we're kind of on that subject of the survey, I also want to kind of touch on extra credit and your research participation points for this class as well. So you did your program survey, that's a separate grade. And then you have your research participation aspect of this class. And so for that, there's 2 ways to accomplish that. You can either do it through SONA. There's online studies and face-to-face studies as well. And there is also the option to do a research article summary. And those details are at the end of the syllabus. But on that, for the research participation, you don't get points for completing it, but if you do not complete that aspect, you lose 35 points. So keep that in mind. Again, that's not necessarily a hard grade or a hard assignment to finish, but you do need to plan ahead and give yourself plenty of time because both the article summary and SONA will be done at 5 o'clock on the Friday of dead week. So if you wait into finals week or you get towards the end of dead week, you might run out of time. So keep that in mind. It's just something to kind of plan ahead for and make sure that you're finishing. And then in terms of extra credit, there are 2 main ways you can do SONA again after you've done the first one, or you can also still do another article summary, research article summary. So keep that in mind too. If you have any other questions on both of those, let me know. And also regarding your research paper, your final paper, if you take that to any of the writing centers on any of the campuses, I will give you extra credit for that as well. But make sure they either send me an email or they give you documentation that you visited the writing center. And what they do is they just read your paper, basically provide you feedback and any kind of edits or suggestions for it. So it's beneficial to you in 2 ways. 1, you get feedback on your paper, and 2, you can get extra credit in our class. So keep that in mind. That's something you can do for your final paper. And like I said, that any of the writing centers, just make sure you get documentation that you went, and that comes to me at some point, either from your email or their email, or if it's in paper form, whatever that needs to be. So that's kind of those things. And then in terms of the paper, I've gotten most of them graded, so I'm almost done on grading your rough drafts and getting those, giving some feedback on those. So I should have those done in the next couple days. I got a little caught up in some other things and unfortunately didn't get those done as early as I'd hoped, but I am working on that and you should get those within the next couple days. So you'll have over a week to kind of look at that and kind of finish up your final paper. And then just in terms of our schedule, so we are in Week 12, looking at sexuality and romantic relationships. So those discussion boards are ready. And then next week we'll move into mental health, coping strategies, and problems. And then remember the 16th is when your final paper is due. And that's kind of your last big assignment as well before the final exam. So keep that in mind. And if you guys have any questions, please send me an email. And I'll get back to you pretty quickly on those. So you guys have a good day and a good week, and I'll check back in with you guys later in the week.